going to start in the classroom today because Rick is going to educate us. And he told me what he was going to educate us on. And I said, good, I need it. I have no idea the answers to those questions. So Rick, the floor is yours.
All right, let's do it. Everybody get your notebooks, your pens out, because tonight, oh, Kyle's got the big board out. You see, I love that. Kyle's always prepared. Tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the history of the NFL on Thanksgiving Day. This kind of was something that I asked myself before the episode. I was like, why do the Cowboys and the Lions play every Thanksgiving without fail?
Even when they suck.
Even when they are terrible, right? And it's a good question, I think, because I feel like a lot of NFL fans, especially newer generation ones, and while I don't put myself in that category, I'm definitely one of the newer generation part of NFL fans. But I asked myself, like we don't know that. I don't know why the Lions play, and it's a great question. So let's start it off with when the very first Thanksgiving game was, and that was back in 1934, the year after the Bears. Yep, those Bears back there won the NFL championship. They were world champions, not a Super Bowl yet.
Got to
sprinkle that in, and there will be a couple more sprinkles. But they were the world champions the year prior, and the following year, a guy by the name of George A. Richards was a radio executive in Detroit. He purchased what was known as the Portsmouth in Ohio Spartans and then moved them to Detroit, called them the Lions. And then in 1934, they played the first Thanksgiving game against the Chicago Bears. And the reason he did that was he was hoping to just attract fans to this team. And I'm, kind of like the Lions have been somewhat recently, not really in like the last couple years. But before that, kind of a shitty team. So it's like, yeah, I could see why you wanted to attract some fans, especially back then.
It's kind of like the special episodes we do on this show. You know what I mean? We're just trying to attract fans because we have a shitty team and we need to do everything we can.
And this is a perfect time to play this clip.
We've definitely gone through some tests and gone through some trials.
We've definitely gone through some tests and some trials. And look, we're going to fail and we're going to succeed, and you guys are going to be along for the ride. So
it's going to be a ride. It's going to be a journey. It's going to be a journey. But I know who I am.
It's going to be worth it at the end. I'm going to tell you that right now because I'm Mr. Unlimited. That was off the cuff. That was not rehearsed. So that was the first ever Thanksgiving game. It was back in 1934, the Lions and the Bears. Now, according to NFL.com, in the 1960s, the NFL was looking for another team to commit to playing on Thanksgiving along with the Lions. The Lions up to this point had done almost 30 years on their own on Thanksgiving every year, year in, year out. The Lions were the only team that played every Thanksgiving Day. While many teams weren't interested, the Dallas Cowboys GM Tex Schramm, what a name, by the way, Tex Schramm.
Text like text message?
No, like text like Texas.
Oh, text.
Right? Like that works. Cool. He believed the publicity of playing on Thanksgiving would be good for his struggling team in 1966. And his decision paid off on the field and at the gate, which is why the tradition has continued for both these teams. So if you're wondering why the Cowboys and the Lions both play on Thanksgiving year in, year out, it was because their owners, their GMs at the time thought it'd bring in money, thought it'd bring in attractions. And now they play every single year, and it has done both for those franchises. And another big reason why the Cowboys are called America's team. I mean, they're not, but that's what they're called.
That's debatable.
That is debatable.
That's
Kyle.
That's pollable. We need to poll that.
We need to poll that.
It's America's team, yet we have no Cowboy fans that have come into this channel. We have Giants, Bears. Basically, if you follow a team that you know won't be in the playoffs, this is your home.
You're in, except for KC.
Except for KC and JST, who's a Bills and Chiefs fan.
My God.
Yeah, that is funny. America's team, but we haven't found one. Where are these Cowboys fans? Skip Bayless is really the spokesperson for all of them. Apparently.
Honestly, come on in, please. We would love to chat with you guys. All right. Kyle, quick true or false? True or false? every NFL team has played on Thanksgiving Day.
False.
False. Do you know which team or teams has not played on Thanksgiving Day?
I'm gonna go with the newest teams. I'm gonna go with the Carolina Panthers, the Houston Texans, and the Jacksonville Jaguars.
You are 1/3 correct. The Jaguars are the only team to not play on Thanksgiving, and they won't this week.
He
Kyle's
just
like,
knew.
I wasn't ready. This is bullshit.
Could have sent me a text like, "Hey, you might want to read up on your shit." Because I'm putting you under the microscope.
But every team has played at least one game on Thanksgiving. Now let's go to the wins and losses, because that's what, playing on Thanksgiving is about. The Lions have the most wins and the most losses on Thanksgiving, which, I mean, it's pretty obvious. They've played for almost 100 years
More than
on
the
Thanksgiving.
Cowboys?
Yeah, more than the Cowboys. The Lions' record on Thanksgiving, 37-44-2. So they don't even have a winning record on Thanksgiving, which
Most wins.
yeah, it's like for 15 years. You're like, oh yeah, I'll just have the Lions game in the background. No big
So
deal.
who were the Lions playing back then?
God, in the 30s, you're looking at the Packers, not the Cowboys, maybe the Chiefs, Rams, Raiders, Ravens, something like that, probably from there on, from 1934 and on.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Second team, again, pretty obvious. The Cowboys. They have a better winning percentage. They're 32-22-1. And then the third team would be the Bears, baby, 20-15-2.
Wow.
Yep. And then the last team, at least the team in fourth place would be the Packers, 14-20-2. Those are also the only 4 teams with double-digit wins on Thanksgiving Day. So 4 teams, those are the top 4 teams, the top 4 wins, and also the only teams with double-digit wins.
Do you know who the Lions played in 1934 on their first Thanksgiving game?
Oh, God, who was it? The Bears.
The Bears. Do you know who won?
No, I don't actually.
The Bears. They beat the Lions 19-6 in front of 26,000 strong at the University of Detroit Stadium.
Fuck yeah.
November 29th.
Those dumb bitches.
It was 32 years later that the Cowboys joined. That's crazy. I didn't realize
they
that.
went 3 decades without another team playing on Thanksgiving.
That's crazy, man.
Insane. Now, there's only 2 teams that have gone winless, and there's 3 teams that are undefeated. Any idea on who those teams who are winless or the undefeated teams are, Kyle?
I know the Broncos are undefeated.
I don't know about that, Jim.
Wait, no. Because I remember there was a game when I was a kid. It's the only Broncos game I remember on Thanksgiving. And it went into overtime, and Denver won by a game-winning field goal. And the running back was from the University of Wisconsin.
Oh.
And his name was like, I feel like you would know it. God damn it. What was his name?
Running back from Wisconsin. Not sure.
He was like really popular back in the day. Ron Dane.
That does sound familiar.
Yeah, they won 24-21. And then I remember Josh McDaniels. During the Josh McDaniels era, we played, but I can't remember if I think we lost.
Oh, yeah, probably. Because the only 3 undefeated teams on Thanksgiving are the Ravens, who are 2-0, the Panthers, who are 1-0, and the Texans, who are 2-0.
Really? The Texans?
Yep. And the only 2 teams who are winless on Thanksgiving are the Bengals and the Bucks. I believe the Bengals are 0-1 or 0-2, and the Bucks are like 0-1 or 0-2 around there as well.
Okay. No, we won that game too. The one where I remembered McDaniels, and that's because during the break, the Broncos were about to score, and they had 3 false starts, and Josh McDaniels goes, all we're trying to do is run the motherfucking play. 3 straight. And it gets all caught on camera, so he had to go apologize, and I just looked it up. They won 26-6 over the New York Giants.
Oh, wow.
Those are the only 2 games in my lifetime I've seen the Broncos. So they're undefeated in my lifetime.
In your eyes, in
And
your
that's
heart.
why I guessed that, because I'm like, oh shit.
I like it. I like it though. I like it. And I didn't realize the Bears had actually a pretty damn good record in terms of Thanksgiving games. So for all you guys, having Thanksgiving tomorrow with your family, you got your NFL family, you got your actual family who may be NFL fans. Now you got some stats to bring to the table and to argue about. No, the Cowboys have the better record. No, the Lions have the better record. It's the Cowboys, but the Lions have the most wins overall.
Yeah,
So
you can trick them.
yeah, there's a little something there for you. Also, I forgot to do this at the beginning, but gobble, 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 gobble.
I love that way more than the New York Tears.
So thank you guys for letting me talk about that, because I had the same questions. I was like, why do the Cowboys and Lions always play? Who's got the best record? Blah blah blah. So now you guys know. Now I know. Now Kyle knows.
Now I know.
Yeah,
because I had no idea. So thank you for that segment, Rick.